Alright, so let's do a reservation. And so I'm on my test user here, and I'll just point out that I went in and approved or processed that show that we created. So you can now see the status is processed, and if it were programmed at a different time as your request, then that time would reflect here. If it were a series, obviously, then it would be the day and time you're paying for. All right, I gave this person a lot of certifications here, so this person's gone through pretty much all the classes. And so if we go over to reservations, then we will see all of the categories here, all of the equipment types that we call them. And so on my reservations page, we have our projects. So this is why it's important to fill this out first, create a project, or this form will error out because this will be empty. Your start time, date and time, your end date and time, your equipment, you can search for equipment, and then your reservation policies. So no reservation within 24 hours or beyond 30 days, 1 camera per reservation, maximum field equipment reservation is 72 hours, maximum studio reservation is 4 hours, and then doubling up on resource types is a case-by-case basis. That's mainly if you want to take field equipment into the studios. We would prefer that the field equipment leave the building, but there are reasons to take them into the studios, and we are aware of that. So, all right. So let me go through the equipment types. So cameras, field audio equipment, field editing equipment, field lighting equipment, grip and rig equipment, lenses and adapters, multicam equipment, production spaces, tripods, monopods. So if I drop this down, because this person is certified for all of the different cameras, they're going to see every single one that is up for reservation. It can be a lot, and that's why these hide and show feature is here. So the Canon 5D, Sony A7, NX Cam, the NX Cam hard drives, the FS5, and then the Z280. And then these are the City of Austin numbers. These are the tag numbers that are on the cameras, and then a short description. And then you have the checkbox to include that into your reservation. All right, and what we have is a visual for this more information. You can go to the website, and you can see the camera and the name and a little description, and then you can download the manual, or you can just click on it and read through on the website, or you can actually download it. So that's super helpful. And field audio equipment, so all of the field, all the microphones that we have, the Zoom recorders, and then also that has a more information feature. Same deal. Okay. Field editing. So these are our take-home computers, our adapters. We have DVD drives, tape decks. Field lighting. So these are all the light kits and reflectors, on-camera lights. So this also has a more information button. And then we have our grip and rigs, so all the C-stands, clamps, mounts, monitors, all that stuff is here. So the shoulder mounts, the jib. So we understand that this can get a little confusing, so that's why these more information pages are really helpful. All right. And then lenses and adapters. So the zoom lenses, the Metabones adapters to get it from EF to E, and then all of the Rokinon prime lenses, and then the Sony zoom lenses. Multi-camera equipment. So if you took the multicam class, you get access to the Sony Anycast Touch, and then the NX camera will populate in the camera section, and then the grip gear, like the like the Pterodecks and the Spider Pod and all that stuff will show up in the grip and rigs. So just know that if you get certified for something like the multicam that has varying equipment, then it will populate, that equipment will populate in the category. Production space, so the conference room and then the 3 studios, and then tripod and monopods. All right, so we will build out some more of these, more information. We feel like these 4 are the more important ones now, but we can definitely do one for lenses, adapter, and multicam, and that might be it. All right, so if I wanted to search for something, there we go. So I can hit NXCam, hit search, and then only NXCam will show up. If I needed that spider pod, I'll do a search for that, and then the spider pod will show up. So it's helpful. Not sure how many people use it, but it's there. Okay. So start date and time, end date and time. So this is where it gets a little trickier, because you have to abide by the operating hours, and then also we can block off holidays, and then there's this policy of no reservations within 24 hours or beyond 30 days. So the system will block that and give you an error message. I will say that you should be using Chrome. We've had some issues with this pop-up calendar not showing up on Safari, so please use Chrome, because you don't want to have to hand type these out. So, all right, 24-hour rule. So for example, if I try to make a reservation for today, we open at 4. If I do 7 p.m., it'll give me an error message for 24 hours. Likewise, if I go out a month and I do December, let's see, 7 p.m. So if I do December 19th, it will give me an error message that says it can't be within, or has to be within 30 days. All right. I will also note that every time I put in a date and time here, my end date and time will auto-populate. If it's blank, it'll auto-populate to a half hour later. So be careful with that. This will stay put now. And if I go back to November and I select Thursday at 7 p.m., I'm still getting this error message because my end date and time stayed on December 19th. So I would now need to go change that back to Saturday. So what now it's giving me is this Thursday at 7 o'clock is fine, but this Saturday at 7:30 is not, because we close at 7 p.m. So reservations can't have a start or end date that aren't within Austin public operating hours. End time should be between 11 a.m. and 6:45. So my end time needs to change. So I can do 6:30, and I'm good. So again, I know it's a little confusing, but just remember that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are open from 4 to midnight. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. The portal will give you hours. You don't want a reservation coming back right at 7 because we're locked up and our equipment staff is leaving. So just know that if we close at 7 p.m., then we want reservations coming in at 6:45. If we close at midnight, we want reservations coming in at 11:45. And the portal will tell you all that. So once you get a handle on that, then you should be good. After that, it's finding out what equipment is available. So another example would be on the 28th. It's Thanksgiving, so it'll tell you if it's a holiday. Okay, so let me try to make a reservation for, let's do over the weekend. So Friday at 6 o'clock, and then I will bring it back, let's say Friday the 22nd, I will bring it back on Monday at 7:30. I'm going to come down here and see what's available. So the more popular cameras, let's try for an FS5. If I check that, I can now drop down here. So this will not show up if I do not have a start date and time and end date and time. The system needs to know what period of time to look for. So don't just come in here and start checking off boxes, because nothing will show up here, because you need to have these populated first to give it the system a reference, and then you can start checking boxes. All right, Usually what I like to do, instead of just, I mean, I can take that away, and then I can check the next one. So kind of just go down the line, so unavailable. But there's nothing wrong with just checking all these boxes, letting it kind of pause, and then now I can come down and I can see that 3 of these are unavailable. One says check availability. That's probably a good thing. And then I have this check availability button. So I'll check that. 1, 2, 3. So 3 of them have conflicts. So it's probably likely that 4th one is good to go. So here's the conflict with camera 77. I can see that so this is my reservation start time, and this is my reservation end time, Friday to Monday. So somebody has it reserved through 6 p.m. all the way to Sunday at 6:30, and then it's available. This camera, there are 2 reservations that conflict with my request. Somebody's got it booked starting already here, and then Saturday from 6:30 on it's available. But then the same camera is going out on Monday at 4 o'clock, red here. This camera is good on Friday until all the way through, what was that, Saturday? So this camera is available until Saturday at 12:45, and this reservation is then being brought back the next day at 4:15, and from 4:15 on Sunday on it's available. So this is just a visual of these here will be your reservation request start time and your reservation request end times, and then you'll see other people's reservations. If there's multiple lines, then there's multiple reservations. So 2 different people are checking out this same camera over the weekend, or with this being starting on a Monday. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I can do a couple different things. I can either click here to remove, so now I only have the 2, or I can click back to submissions page, or click back down here to submissions page, and I can scroll back down, and I will see that there was the one that's available. So I'm going to hold on to that, and now I can just remove these here as well. So I've got my camera. Field audio. I need a boom pole and a shock mount. So I can scroll down, that's available. I need a shock mount. That is also available. So the pole with the shock mount, and now I need the microphone. So the shotgun Sennheiser, I'm going to use one of those. I'm just kind of clicking these at random. I don't have a specific one that I like. If you take out 12 and you want to use it again, then you can remember that you took out 3, 3, 2, 1, 2. All right, that is unavailable, however, so I'm going to X out of that, and then come check out another one. Let's see, Sennheiser, so I'll start at the top. Unavailable. Check this one, 11. It's popular. That one we already knew wasn't available. And I'll just go ahead and check this one too. So let's see. Alright, so those 2 are available. So I'm going to X out of these that were not available. This shotgun is available, but I just need the 1. Alright, so now I've got a camera, I've got a boom pole, shock mount, and a microphone. I need a tripod, so I'm going to come down here and just select a random Sackler tripod. Unavailable. So I'll just keep checking. And that's available. So I'm going to X out of these 2. Alright, and then I'm going to interview somebody, so I need nope, already got mics. I need a light kit. So I'm going to take out, let's see if that RE kit's available. Yeah, alright. So we got the RE kit. I'm going to minimize some of this stuff. The RE kit's going to be a 4 light kit, so that's probably all I'm going to need. But maybe some diffusion, so I'll take out maybe the small flag kit available. Alright, cool. And then that flag kit's going to need a C-stand, a couple C-stands probably. So unavailable. Okay. So let me just check off a couple of these. See what we got. Man, someone's taking out all the C-stands. So I will say, as you're watching this process, if you're trying to book gear within the week, it could be this process. If you're booking gear, a week to 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, then this is going to be a lot easier because most of the stuff's going to be available. But because I'm trying to book stuff for this weekend, it's tough. So I really want to see if I can get one of these C-stands. So I will try for these other types unavailable. I'm just going to click all of these. And the wheeled as well. Come down here, and all right, so we got a bunch of those. So click out the unavailable ones. All right, C-stand wheeled, C-stand wheeled. So I'm just going to go with the wheeled ones. I just want just a little bit of diffusion to hold for my flag kit. All right, so I've got an RE4 light kit. I'm good there for my 3-point lighting. I've got a camera, my shotgun, my shock mount, and then my boom pole. I've got 2 wheeled C-stands, a tripod, and my flag kit. So it's a pretty good day. I'm gonna hit confirm. And then it's just gonna go over that equipment list here. Start time, just double check this. And then any notes. I know I'm gonna need a 50-foot XLR for my audio. And then I'm gonna want sandbags for two sandbags for my C-stands, and then I'm going to want some, I'll just put clamps. Just some basic clamps to clamp down if I need to. Alright, so I will then just double check this is a test user, so I don't have any of this information in here, and then I can submit that. Alright, your reservation has been submitted. Please allow 24 hours for your reservation to be approved. You can check your reservation status on the projects page in this reservation section. So I can click projects. I can go now down to reservations, and I see this here. So I see November 22nd through November 25th, and it is all pending. So when this is approved, within a day or so, when Charles or Graham see it, the status will change to approved. If for whatever reason it's denied, we just went through this whole process of checking availability, so there's no reason it should be denied unless maybe I booked 2 cameras at once, or I made it for a really long time, 5, 6 days, 7 days. Charles will email you, and he will probably either adapt it or deny it, and he'll say denied here. These question marks, you can also click on those if you just look back and you're like, oh man, I forgot what does this kit look like, or what does the wheeled C-stand look like. Then you can click on that, and then it'll take you to those pages here. So I'll just be able to check out the wheeled C-stand and get some more information about it. So cool. So that's what those circle question marks do as well. And then after this has been checked in and it's past the date, then it'll show up in your past reservation section. All right, so that is reservations. Again, cancel reservation. If you need to cancel it, it'll email. And then I will just remind you again about Studio Calendar. If you are booking a studio space, you do not have to go through the process of using the conflict grid, even though it is visually helpful. The conflict grid is, now that we've cleaned it up, but this is going to be way more helpful for the studio spaces. So remember, they're color coded up there. All right.